All right. And we're live, folks, people, nomads, anyone who's out there, anyone. I'm talking to anyone here. I'm literally talking to anyone. Um, no, but welcome. Seriously, I'm excited to be back. I got a little fun thing, a good little concept that I've been hashing out. Now I want to try it. So, biggest problem I've had with the podcasting game is what am I going to fucking talk about? What do I talk about? I've got all this knowledge. I've got some fun shit in my head. But what am I going to talk about when I sit down in front of the mic every time, especially on my own? So what I decided was I'm going to rock with talking about books and their like impact on me, real life shit right now. Cool stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff and a lot of books out there. Love it. I love books. So my book today, I just finished, and I'm doing this one because I got to return it to the public library because I was too broke to buy one. So yeah, this is When. I got it right here. What's up? Daniel H. Pink. The dude was a G. He is a G, I guess. He hasn't died yet. But no, so this book is, you can see the scientific secrets of perfect timing. And he's sold a bunch of other books. Let's look up some books, Daniel Pink books. I've got a couple, and I'll probably talk about them too. So one of them is like Right Side of the Brain, Whole New Mind. I've got these three right here. So I mean, great author. Compared to these three books, they're very, very, very in-depth reads. So, excuse me. Back to the When though. Basically, summarize this so we can get off the book and more into just freestyle. It talks about the scientific of timing is basically the pitch of it, and kind of just breaks down how our bodies and our biology have the circadian rhythm is obviously a thing, but more importantly, like our body has like waves of productive levels and like a few other things as far as science-based stuff about timing and like how we live in the world that has the 24-hour clock, this, that, and the other. And like, it's just how our, like, basically how you adapt to the time, and then how you can kind of hack that and use it to your advantage as far as like building a better life for yourself, if you will, or just having more knowledge of how to manage your time. I guess that's really what it is. It's not like a rah self-help. It's more of like a, here's the scientific facts about these type of things. Take with it what you will. Some studies that involved like making decisions, and people like made more decisions based off of X, and then they made less decisions based off of Y, like, and it proved that decision making process is affected by these type of things, like whole bunch of stuff. It was a quick read for me just because I rented it. It's just something to keep me busy while I was waiting for some other books to come in. But it's amazing. The first thing it talks about that I really wanted to dive into, because I've heard this multiple times now, but essentially like talks about our brain waves throughout the day of productivity. So there's three different types of people: owls, larks, and three birds. Owls and larks are on the opposite end. Larks being people who have very active brain in the morning, hit a crash in like the mid-afternoon, like 1 to 3 o'clock range, and then after 3 o'clock they have a like a rebound effect, so they feel a little bit more rejuvenated. And then owl would be the exact opposite. So they're down in the morning, or yeah, they have like their rebound in the morning. They're down in the afternoon again, but then their evening is a lot more active. So like, and then it kind of talks about how if you, and there's a bunch of people in between, most people are in between, but talks about how like if you feel like you're a certain type, here's the things that the brain can function at the best in these certain times. So in the morning, if you're very active, like you want to do all of your, I can't even remember honestly, but it's like all of your like heavy workload that you got to get done, like that it's something that you just have to sit down and do. And then obviously when you're in your trough, your low point, as minimal as possible, maybe like a break or like a walk or a 20-minute nap. Talks about that. Talk about how fucking you can take it's called Nappuccino. Apparently it's a thing. I've never heard of it until this book, but you take fucking a cup of coffee, drink it, and then pass out for like 20 minutes right after you drink it. And then that way, right when you wake up, like the coffee is going to kick in, because apparently caffeine takes at least like 25 minutes to kick in. Let's see, let's fact check it. May go from 0 to 60 in about 10 minutes, but you hit top speed after about 45. So yeah, maybe I'm reading this book and it's just all false science. Nah, just kidding. There's no way. I mean, there is a way, but at the same time, not really. But yeah, really, really cool shit. So like, and then they kind of use the example for standardized testing in like schools, like in America, and how it really puts a lot of kids at disadvantage, even regardless of where you're going to school at. Obviously socioeconomic is a whole nother issue, but like even just the simple concept of some kids are actually more owls. They're not supposed to be like high functioning, like critical thinking type stuff early in the morning. So some of those students who are showing up to class like in the morning and just dog tired. I worked with a dude at a coffee shop, and he said, he's like, dude, I couldn't get up in the mornings for school. Like he's like, it was so hard for me to get up. And shout out Dante. And just like it was very hard for him to be on time to school in high school, like just late all the fucking time. But he's up all hours of the night. Can't sleep through the night hardly, like up to like 2-3 a.m. So like that, I mean, that's just crazy. That's crazy stuff, like science. That's where, and I think that's what's another point I'd love to bring up is like we're at a stage where like science is moving fast. We've got so much stuff to like accumulate and like study, and like the data's outweighing the scientists right now. You know, like we're accumulating too much data too fast, like so we don't know what's going on. But at the same time, so much science, like the psychology is just out of this world right now. Unfortunately, we're still trying to figure it all out, but it's just a crazy world. It's really crazy. But yeah, Win is an amazing book if you're kind of sitting around and kind of wondering about why you're always tired or how to best manage your time. You work all day and then you want to come home and do this, but you're always just tired. Like, obviously you got to get down and do it, but read this book and it might open up a new perspective for you. That's the best thing about books is they comes in all shapes and sizes and words and lingos, and basically you can't even read a book once and get all the information from it. You know, like books are endless truths, I guess, unless they're written falsely. Oh shit. Nah. Like you can just, I keep looking down at my bookcase. It's right below me, but like you could just go back to any book you read and you'd read shit that you didn't pick up the first time, and it would just alter a new perception in your brain. So I picked up reading literally probably like 2 years ago. That's so funny that it's like a thing. I picked up reading. Like kids really don't like reading nowadays. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. But yeah, When is the book? This was just kind of a good little intro, just because I didn't really take notes reading the book. It was, again, I rented it from the public library, so had to just read it without taking notes. Usually I like to highlight, and then just started taking those highlights and putting them onto Google Docs. So just trying to accumulate a ton of data. But yeah, super, super good book. I mean, it was good. I would just check out Daniel H. Pink in general. You just have to read like those 3 books that I showed you, and you'll just kind of transform yourself. So timing, though, I didn't really talk much about timing because the book I didn't really remember much. I tried to get into it, but that's okay. No, I mean it does just talk about, it breaks down like how basically all it is you nowadays you can take information and then manipulate that information to like hack your own life. Like look at it like a system. Your life is a system, an entity. Our brain is a functioning machine. The world around us is like machines and shit. And then take information that you fuck with and like alters your perception. And then when you're like, how do I apply this to real life? You look at your life and you just like, and there's no better time than now. Like you just have to fucking do it because life doesn't ever fucking stop, not once. So you take that information and then you just look at your life for a second, for like an hour. You just look at your life from an outside perspective, and then implant those little tricks and knickknacks, especially when you read books like Win, and you just have to stay disciplined to them, dedicate your time to them, and fucking before you know it, even like a week, you'll be like, holy shit, I did this whole week and that was tight. That was awesome. I hit a 20-minute nap at 2:30 every day this week, and my days were twice as productive. And that's where we're at. We're all about productivity and efficiency in this society nowadays. So biohack your shit out of yourselves. Get information, bottle it up, and then just type it into the reality, and then boom, boom, bada bing, bada bam. I'm trying to think of what else that book kind of talked about. Obviously, yeah. Biggest thing is that sleep. I fuck with sleep a lot. I think it's super important. I've always been big into it though. Like even when I was a kid, like all my friends were staying up late and doing this shit and that, and like on school nights, like playing video games online and stuff. Like nah, my ass was in bed at like 10:30. If it got to 11, I'd start to get a little anxious. I'd be like, oh, it's getting late, dude. I don't know what happens past this time. I don't know what happens past this time of the night. Sorry, I'm fucking with my mic. All right, well, I feel like I've butchered this long enough. Obviously, I just wanted to sit down and get this going. This will be my first one, but it'll be my first shitty one and my last shitty one. So next time I'll come back with some notes, talking points that I want to hit on. Not for you to see, but in my brain, so that I can perform, so I can put on a good show, because this was kind of shit. Because you really don't know what that book's about. Sorry for yelling. You really don't know what that book's about now. I mean, it's about timing, the scientific concept of timing, and talks about sleep cycles. Like, ooh, here's a good one. How a lot of people do like big events. Damn, chill out, son. How a lot of people do big events on their 9th year of the decade. So 19, 29, 39, 49, 59. Because it's like a lot of people have that mind. It's the mindset of ending and beginning. So it's like, that's a big time where one thing people say is like, this is ending, this chapter of my life's ending, and then moving on to a new beginning. And that's like, that's what that's another biohack, is like make endings and beginnings more for you. So yeah, last little gold nugget there. Maybe I saved it a little bit. Still a little butchered though. That's right though. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll get better at this, I swear.